I'm glad you're here today. Whether you showed up curious or skeptical or maybe someone forwarded this to you, I'll make sure this is a good use of your time today. And this isn't a hype-filled webinar. You're not going to hear me tell you that videos are the magical piece that'll 10x your practice overnight. That's not what this is about. What this is about is showing you something you might have written off or overlooked, but that could quietly become the most valuable trust-building tool in your practice. So if you've ever posted content and felt like it disappeared into the void, or run an ad and attracted people who couldn't afford care, or maybe been told to just make videos without any guidance or real world examples, then this will feel different. Because I work with chiropractors like you every day, not influencers, not TikTok celebrities, just real docs who want to attract patients who already believe in what they do. What we're going to walk through today isn't a trend, it's a shift. And if you understand this shift, even if you don't love being on camera, you'll be able to create something that works for you and actually attracts the kind of patients you want. Because if you use simple videos to consistently show up where your community spends time, you'll become the most remembered, trusted, and chosen chiropractor in your area without needing fancy equipment, having to come up with content ideas, or video editing skills. So today, what we're going to cover is why recording video is the most powerful marketing tool to create visibility and trust with you and your practice. The challenges that come with trying to create videos, how to overcome these challenges, and the 4 videos every chiropractor needs to record to attract more of your ideal patients. And I'll share resources to make all this easy on you. So I've spent the last 8 years advertising for chiropractors, and there's been a huge shift in how people consume social media and video, affecting how you bring in new patients. Here's a few reasons why. Video is so important to not just your marketing, but your new patient's journey. It humanizes your practice. It builds connection. Video excels at creating deeper connections with viewers. It's memorable and it's engaging. And consumers have said video is their number one favorite type of content from brands on social media. Whether you've thought of yourself or your practice this way or not, you do have a brand. Plus, 72% of patients are more likely to trust a healthcare provider after watching a video about their services. Also, viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch a video compared to 10% when reading text. That means utilizing videos can help simplify difficult concepts and provide a better understanding of the services your practice offers. I mean, think about what we're doing here, right? I could have sent you a big long PDF, but it's really not going to help as much as this webinar. And lastly, social media algorithms prioritize video over other types of content, such as infographics and written text. So you'll get your message in front of more people if you put it into a video. All right, real quick, I just want to let you know a couple things about me that really sets me apart from everyone else in this space. I've been doing digital marketing for more than 20 years and founded my own marketing agency. For several years, I was brought in by billion-dollar brands around the world to coach them on their innovation practices, including getting the right product market fit, and then add millions and millions of dollars to their bottom line. And I switched from helping all kinds of businesses to marketing for chiropractors in February of 2017, starting with my own chiropractor. And now we work exclusively with chiropractic offices across the US and Canada. All right, enough about me. These are the common challenges docs have when it comes to recording video content. They don't know what videos to record or what to say. I'm not comfortable being on video is something I hear. I don't have the right equipment. I don't have the tech skills. I'm too busy. Do any of those resonate with you? Well, let's take a look at how to overcome these challenges. Let's start with I don't have the right equipment. Sometimes we overthink or over-engineer our solutions. I'm guilty of it myself. Sometimes people think their video or ad on social media needs to look like commercials they see on TV. That means, fancy camera lens, really polished looking, their logo, they start off with announcing their name and practice for branding. There's transitions between cuts and just a whole lot of post-production work. The thing about social media is if it looks and feels like an ad, people swipe past it. They hate ads, especially on social media. So first off, an iPhone or Android purchased in the last couple of years has a great resolution camera on it. And the nice thing is you can keep the phone camera turned vertical the same direction everyone uses their phone when scrolling social media. So your video not only fits, but matches most of the content on there. And we don't want to look unprofessional, but that really means your message is good and people can see and hear you fine. It doesn't mean fancy polishing and editing. In fact, this way you come across as more authentic and your message doesn't feel like advertising. So as long as you have a good wireless microphone so people can hear you and decent lighting in front of you and you're not backlit, then that's all you really need. Selfie style videos feel more real. If arm length is an issue, get a gimbal or a selfie stick on Amazon. Right. Not having the tech skills is another challenge some dogs face. Fortunately, this doesn't take much. If you feel strongly that you need a script, which I don't recommend, it's much better to maybe just have like a bullet list of what you want to cover so it sounds more natural. But if you really need a script, then there's a teleprompter app called Big View, which I've used on occasion and works amazingly well. Plus, it uses AI to fix your eyes so they don't move back and forth while you read and, where it looks like you're reading a teleprompter. And so that's BigView, Bigvu. And for editing, I've been using an app called Descript for over a year, and it's amazingly easy to use. I've used different video editing softwares, and with this one, you don't need to know video editing, or creating slices, all that stuff. If you stumble over a word or repeat yourself or have filler words like Descript automatically creates a transcript right next to the video in the software, and you can simply delete or backspace the parts of the transcript you don't want, and it removes the video for those parts. Now, if you want to delegate that work instead of doing it yourself, you can find freelancers on Fiverr or Upwork who will do it for very little money. And you can hire one-time projects or hire so every time you have a new piece of work, they can work on it and you just pay when there's actually work to do. One of the bigger hurdles to overcome is not feeling comfortable on video. Sometimes that's for lack of knowing what to say, but for the most part, it's just not liking seeing or hearing your recording. Not due to the quality or anything like that, just a self-conscious thing. I wish there was a magic wand for that, but about the only way to handle that is through what you might call exposure therapy, meaning you just have to do it. And the more you do it, the less scared you'll be. I've struggled with this myself, and I can attest that it not only becomes easier over time, but it's become less of a hang-up for me. You can say I've become more comfortable being uncomfortable. And simply put, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Plus, the more practice you put in, the better your videos will become. And remember, perfect is the enemy of done. Just take imperfect action. Over the last several years of talking and working with chiropractors, a common challenge I hear is not knowing what videos to record or what to say on them. Some docs tell me, just tell me what to record and I'll do it. So let's get into those core videos that every chiropractor needs to record so you know where to start. The first video you want to record is what to expect when a new patient comes in for their initial visit. What's going to happen, what scans or x-rays you might do. And if you do a 2-day process, let them know what happens on day one and you'll bring them back and what happens on day two and reinforce how you're going to help them understand what might be the underlying cause of what they have going on. And, you'll provide what their options and your recommendations are. And this can be sent right after they book that initial visit, as well as pinned to your Facebook page or your YouTube channel. Now, the next video is where you talk a little bit about yourself and you want to share your why you became a chiropractor, why you chose to open a practice in your city, your beliefs, your philosophy. So you build more of a connection and anticipation for their upcoming visit. Now, the next video you want to record is an invitation into your office. This is where you can talk about some of the conditions or things your ideal patients might be experiencing. Let them know, your approach to helping people with that. Explain how you take a holistic approach and uncover the underlying causes for their situation. And invite them to come into your office if they or a loved one are experiencing either of those things or want to get or feel better. And the last type of video you want to record is what I call hybrid videos. These are what you need to create connection and trust with your ideal patients. Once you have the first three, you really want to be recording hybrid videos regularly. There's four categories of hybrid videos. You've got belief shifting, where you can change how they think about things, such as how there's a non-surgical solution for sciatica. Then there's educational videos where you can educate them on various conditions or topics. Then you have practical videos where you can give them something they can do or put into practice themselves. And then there's authority building, where you can explain what you do in your office to assess or treat a specific condition or situation, or share a story or a case study about someone you helped without naming names, of course, or a testimonial video with a patient. We have great testimonial framework questions to elicit amazing testimonials. Just reach out to me personally if you'd like me to share that with you. And set a goal of recording one of these per week, or some docs like to batch them four at a time. So that way they're just recording once a month, but you can publish or release these basically on a weekly basis. Now that I said record one video a week, you might be thinking you don't have time to come up with video ideas and scripts and then record them because you're too busy, which is why I put together the 2-minute hybrid video blueprint. This has a menu of over 200 different video topics across those categories I just told you about on all sorts of different topics. This way, you just decide what topic you want to cover, such as sciatica, and then go to the menu and choose from the list of belief shifting video ideas for sciatica, the list of educational videos on sciatica, practical videos for sciatica, authority building video ideas for sciatica. I'm saying sciatica over and over. We cover so much more than that, whether it be headaches or degenerative disc disease. I mentioned that because you want to make sure you create a whole series of videos on whatever that condition or topic is you want to focus on, and then move on to a new topic. So you could think of this as like a monthly content schedule. Pick one topic a month, record your series of videos that culminate with trust and authority building on your ability to help people with that, and then move on to a new topic. And of course, invite them into your office. And so all you have to do is select which video in the list appeals to you, and then go to the AI hook generator I created. Type or paste your video topic and let it create a hook. So you open your video with something interesting and gets the people who have that situation to keep watching and listening. I also created a simple video framework to structure what you're going to say and in the right order. So I share best practices and guide you through how to look and sound good. Basically, I'm removing all the friction that could stop you from taking action. And if you've ever noticed how your content rarely gets any likes or shares, and only from people who already know you, I also show you how to make sure all the people in your community that you want to see your videos and become patients will see them. So you can grab all that by going to hybridvideoblueprint.com. And practice is the best way to improve. Action beats perfection. So grab anything you don't have yet, like a wireless mic or gimbal. Start with recording your what to expect video. This should be the easiest for you to record, so start there. And then record your other core videos that'll get used over and over. That way, you can move on to creating fresh, helpful content regularly. And again, record those weekly or in batches, and then just publish or release them weekly. So I have training and resources that makes this easier and strategies on getting the most out of them in that 2-minute hybrid video blueprint, which you can get at hybridvideoblueprint.com. And I have some times on my calendar in case you want to set up a one-on-one time with me to talk about this or have me review what you're already doing. And I can give you recommendations on how to get more out of your marketing, or if you want, we could even handle some of that for you. There's no obligation, no pressure. Just whether you want to work with me or not, you'll leave that call with clarity. Just you can scan the QR code or go to growyourchiropractic.com/schedule and book a time with me. But I kept this short and sweet. I like to really focus on impactful information and not a bunch of fluff. So with that said, I've haven't used up all of our 30 minutes for this. So if anyone has any questions, just raise your hand in the chat, ask those questions. I'm happy to answer them. Like I said, I know I went through these pretty quick, but I feel like the right information was shared with you. So I hope you did too. Again, if you've got any questions, just ask them in the chat. And if not, I just want to share, if knowledge was enough, we'd all have six packs and Rolls Royces. So don't stay in learning mode. Put today's information to use. All right, we got a question here. All right.
Hey,
Uh, hey, go ahead.
what's
Who
go
am
good? This
I
is
talking to?
Dr. Tony the chiropractor. How are you?
Hey, Tony, how are you doing?
Good, man. Great information, my friend. Let's get your name out there, get your word out to go practice.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
all it comes down to. I think for most doc, it's almost like it's in their head that there's gonna has to be perfect, like you mentioned, but it has to be basically just you being authentic, being raw.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
you
And
know.
you put a ton of content out there, and I haven't gone back
Yes.
through all of it, but I'm gonna bet that when you first started, it wasn't as good as it is now.
Oh, it was YouTube back in 16, 12 or something, and it was more like, what am I doing here? But it's just time, right? It's like learning how to adjust people. Same thing. You practice, practice, practice till you get it right. Till you feel it's right. I'm not sure to get it right. Just you feel it's right. And I don't worry about likes or views or blah blah blah. Just it's do you feel like you're putting the message you want out there? Then when people want it, they'll come and get it.
100%. And there's something to be said about not being too polished, too rehearsed, right? I
No,
mean,
no,
it's real, it's more raw, it's more real, and it
yes.
comes through. It comes through that it's authentic.
I think a lot of people want to feel comfortable with their chiropractor. It's a hands-on field, so they want to get to know you. And you can put content on what to expect and what I do, blah, blah, blah. When they hear you talk to a patient or your office or what you're doing, say on the side too, they get to know you, you get more comfortable. They want to come and see you when they're ready. Because everyone has back pain, neck pain. It's not if it's when I have back and neck pain, it's who they're going to go see. And when they know you, they've seen your content, they know what you do. At that point, they know it's not marketing, it's actually you being authentic. They'll come and see you.
Exactly. And I made a point earlier about connection, but I mean, I think that's a little understated because, not everyone's going to vibe with everyone else, and not everyone knows what your vibe is like, right? But by seeing and
No.
hearing you, it's a chance to get a sense of that, and if it feels right for them.
Yeah, and when it's personal and professional, that's all they want. Someone they can talk to, share their problems with, trust that doctor, because most medical doctors will listen to you. That's expected. Chiropractors almost I want to feel for what they can help me with, and if they can listen to me and actually be effective. So it's like I said, it's just putting a 30-second video out maybe a couple times a week. Increase to a minute maybe a couple times a week. Then maybe more than that. But give yourself time to kind of build that confidence through practice, right? Like we did with chiropractic. Adjusting people is a natural thing for most people. So we can make sure we're doing it over time to get the improvement and get our own technique, our own vibe, what we want people to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all right. We're going back to the course. We're going to hit some more balls. So keep doing good work, my friend.
All right, awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Tony.
No worries, my friend. Hey.
All right, is there anyone else that has something they want to ask or maybe just share on this topic? All right. I mean, if so, just click the little raise hand in the Zoom chat there. But if not, I am just going to remind you, put this information. You spent some time here with me, whether it be 20 minutes, whether it be 2 hours, make good use of that time. Pick a video type, start this week, take imperfect action, and
Yeah.
connect with me and follow us on your favorite channels. And if you have any more questions about all this or the hybrid video blueprint, or if you want me to send you those 4 questions that generate awesome testimonial videos, just reach out to me. Sebastian Mueller is my personal Instagram, and you can check out our page and channels under Grow Your Chiropractic. So that's all I have for today. Again, no one else raises their hand. I hope you got some actionable items out of today. And if you'd like to talk about having us handle this or any of your online marketing for you, we can do that. Just go to growyourchiropractic.com/schedule or scan the UR code and set up a time to talk with me personally. I'll be happy to help however I can so you can achieve your goals. All right. Have a great day, everyone.